You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
Well, now we're, as we cruise towards the end of August, doesn't time fly? We've got a very busy You Cannot Be Serious today, Suzanne. We're going to ring Dougie Hawkins in a minute from down in Melbourne, Australia. And we've got Ivan and Dick going to just have a chat to us about what they think's going on in the world of the living down where they are. And then, what a welcome return. Now, we just say this, he says he'll be on at later on. This is the doctor, Dr. Ben Fordham, MD. The MD will have to strike off his portfolio or his list now because MD was managing Don. That has since long time ago become irrelevant. So we'll just call him Doctor. Oh, no, I like the MD. Dr. Ben Fordham, MD. He'll be on. And have we got some things to talk to him about? Because we haven't spoken to him since the Olympics, when he sent us a picture of him riding a bike down the Champs-Élysées saying, bonjour! He didn't get back to me saying what my reply was, but anyhow, we're looking forward to speaking to him. Now, just before we ring Doug, we'll ask Doug about the Logies. He had a tip for the Logies. I've forgotten all the people that he tipped, but he will be across it. And also, I just wanted to say this. Saw the most disgraceful hit job on Donald Trump done by 60 Minutes. By some brave little soul called Lisa Brown, I think her name was. She was trying to impress the social elite, so I don't know what she was trying to do. She's become a little foot soldier for the Democratic Party because they interviewed. She's obviously trying to, or Channel 9 are hell-bent on getting the genuinely stupid and immoral Kamala Harris in to be the president. And I say the genuinely immoral and stupid Kamala Harris because stupid she is. Just look at all her pronouncements, so she can't speak unless she reads it. Joe Biden couldn't speak unless he reads it, but he is just, he's got dementia, so we'll cut him some slack. Immoral because she knifed him in the back to clamber over him to pretend she's the first African-American woman to become the president, completely corrupting the word because she's not an African-American. She has claimed to be an African-American to try and woo that black vote in America. She is a Jamaican Indian. And I don't mean a Navajo Indian. I mean a curry-munching Indian, a Bombay, Mumbai Indian, Jamaican. Nothing wrong with that, but just call yourself what you are. Don't try and lie before you even get into office, if you're going to get into office. But 60 Minutes did the most disgraceful hit job on Trump because they interviewed a bloke, his brother, Fred Trump, who you've got to listen to what Fred Trump said, that his his nephew, Donald, said when he met him at the White House. He said he has a disabled son, Fred, and he claims that Donald Trump said, yes, kill him or let him die and then move to Florida. Now, honestly and truly, this was reported as to what Donald Trump said. The extraordinary fact was that Fred said it was a pity no one was in the room to hear him say that. I said, what a coincidence that no one he obviously doesn't like his cousin, his nephew. He obviously doesn't like Donald Trump, fair enough. But to make that shit up, and then we learnt as the little puff piece from 60 Minutes went on, massaging the Democratic Party, we learnt that Fred and his hapless, bloody, dopey sister had been cut out of the Trump will. Not Donald Trump's will, obviously, because Donald's still alive. but been cut out of Donald Trump's father's will, who left handed down money to. So would you reckon they've got an axe to grind? So then they went through. This is 60 Minutes. Disgraceful, biased piece on hating Trump. Then they went on about all the things that Trump had said, saying that he had told people to drink bleach. Yeah, they're just trying to degrade him. They said Trump had told the American public to drink bleach during the COVID thing. That is an absolute lie. He never said that at all. And if you go back and look at what he did say, they just cherry pick that. They said that he would be a dictator when he took office. He said, with the tongue in cheek, he would be a dictator on day one, and he would right the immigration crisis of people coming across the border, and then he would get on to governing the country. It was a throwaway line. It was a tongue-in-cheek line. He said, I'd be a dictator for one day, not on day one going forward, for one day is what he said. They misrepresented that. Then they said that he said if he didn't get in, there'd be a bloodbath. That is an absolute lie. They know it's a lie, 60 Minutes, unless they went on with the propaganda. He said that he was speaking to the Union of the Auto Workers, and he said if the electric vehicle industry gets up and running, which is most inefficient and time and power consuming industry in the world, he said, and puts all the auto workers out of business, he said there'd be a bloodbath amongst the auto workers. He didn't say there'd be a bloodbath in America if he didn't get in. They just went on and lied and lied and lied about what Trump said. They cherry picked it. They took it out of context. They said, oh well, Trump's up on 35 felony or indictable charges. They were just completely bogus charges made up by the various institutions to try and have him stop running for the president. Most of them, many of them have been dropped, and all of them will be dropped no matter who wins. If he wins, they certainly will be dropped, and if he doesn't win, it'll be irrelevant because they will have served their purpose. They said he mocked. They show him mocking a disabled person at a rally. That is an absolute, blatant, unmitigated lie. He didn't mock the disabled person. He mocked an able-bodied person who was dithering when he was trying to ask Trump a question, and Trump was going, oh, he was all over the shop, and Trump was shaking his hands and, going, can't you speak? It was nothing to do with mocking a disabled person. He was mocking an able-bodied person who was flustered, and he was just mimicking him. They knew that to be a lie. Why didn't 60 Minutes concentrate? Why didn't 60 Minutes concentrate on the absolute corruption of the Biden criminal regime, the criminal empire that Biden's part of, the nonsense that they carry on with the Russia hoax impeachment bullshit? Why don't they, 60 Minutes, concentrate on the CFMEU and the Australian government's relationship? They are a disgrace for putting that bullshit on and pumping up a lame duck stupid woman, seriously. And if you think that's sexist, have a look at the lame duck stupid man she replaced. They're just as bad as one another. Anyhow, that they should whoever put that show together, what a disgrace they are. Just, God, how far left can you go? Of course, when George Soros, someone like him's on the board of the people who own Nine, indirectly, what would you expect? So now we're ringing Doug. So I just wasn't going to go on with that, but you couldn't help it. You couldn't help it watching that stupid woman just look down the camera with cow eyes and say, oh, Donald Trump did this. Complete and utter bullshit and lies. Here we go. We're ringing Doug. I'm glad he hasn't heard this. So here we go. I think we're ringing him. We are ringing him.
Good morning, Sam.
Can you hear me, Tommy?
I can hear you, Harry.
Beautiful. Well done, Dougie. And now, Dougie has some, where we got some stuff to have. I've got some stuff to chat to you about anyhow. And Sue Stanley's here too. She might want to...
Morning, Dougie.
Good morning, the beautiful Sue.
Now, I couldn't help but noticing your tip for the Logies.
Yes.
Didn't get up. You'd have to just tell me who your tip was. I know it wasn't because Larry Emder won the gold Logie. He's been sacked more times than you and I, by his own admission.
He got a tattoo, Sam. He got a tattoo of the nominees on his backside, on his bum.
Yeah, I wonder how many people will see that.
Well, not many, I wouldn't think, Sam.
You reckon he's not very virulent, not very out in the marketplace at this stage, showing his ass to all and sundry?
No, but Sam, what would you make of that? Why would you be getting the initials of the nominees? Why would you do that?
Maybe because you're mentally challenged, or maybe because you're only partially educated. Now, Larry, making...
Sonia Kruger. I went for Sonia Kruger, Sam, and you went for a bloke you didn't even know, and his initials are TA. Can you name him?
No, I went for him because he was an Indigenous...
What's his name?
I don't have no idea. What is his name? That's why I'm doing it for you.
Tony Armstrong.
Tony, and probably a very, very capable and good man. I just went for him because I thought, if they're going to be so woke and awakened in the ceremony and whatever, I thought, well, surely it's about time we got into giving someone of colour
Sam, just before I cut you off, did you see the young 15-year-old who won the most popular new talent?
No,
and
Doug,
the best lead actor, young Phoenix, Phoenix. I think his name was Phoenix, not Phoenix. Felix Cameron. He was only 15, Sam. And the show that you probably don't know that he was in. You know the show that he was in? It was called Boy Swallows.
A big pardon, Doug? Is this a bird show? Is it about an aviary or bird shows?
It's on Netflix, Sam. It's called Boy Swallows. Now, imagine if it was the other gender. Eh?
Well,
anyway,
boy swallows. What's? I didn't know that. I've never.
Do you know the movie? Sue might know of it.
Boy swallows. She's just fallen off the chair here.
It's on.
Is that what it's called? What's it?
Boy Swallows.
What's that mean?
Netflix. I think it's a show about young boys.
About transgendering or
no, I don't think so. I don't think so. But the broadcasting commission wouldn't allow the other gender to use the name of the other way around. They weren't allowed to do it. They got banned.
And that boy won a Logie, did he?
He won too, Sam. He won the best popular new talent, and he spoke very well. And he's a leading actor in a drama series.
Good on him.
Which was Boy Swallows. Yeah, Boy Swallows.
I didn't know that. Sue's looking up just to have a look at what that actually means. I've just come clean. I watched the first part of it to see I'd forgotten who the nominees were. A bit out of the loop up here, and I watched the opening and the start of it, and I lasted after they had the pandering suck up of welcoming everyone to the country we live in. The irrelevance of that was palpable. I thought, no, I nearly turned it off after that, as if you're patronising the people that you have to thank for being here or wherever stadium we're broadcasting out of. So I lasted until they mentioned one by one all of the nominees, because I wanted to familiarise myself with who who was on, so that I could have this chat to you. So nice, squeaky clean, feel good intro to a show of people all rubbing themselves up, and down, and patronising and laughing at one another. So it was good. Nothing much edgy about it or controversial, but all nice, safe, and squeaky clean. So I lasted until that. Till the end of that.
What did you make of Sam Pang, Sam? Did you enjoy his hosting?
I thought he was pretty good. I'm not familiar with Sam Pang's work. I've not seen him perform or work before, but I thought he was pretty good, wasn't he?
I thought he was pretty good, Sam. I thought he kept it running along very well. He tested a few of the stars in the room, and we know what it's like, Sam, on Logie night. We've won a Logie, me and you. Yeah,
well, we have. We won't get on to. I didn't see it because we don't get.
Yep.
We hardly get radio up here, let alone get television. They had the 30th anniversary of the Footy show last night. We'll just get just get over the Logies, Tug, at the minute.
Yes.
So you thought so, Larry. Larry, did you think Larry
won it?
Larry, did you think he would have won it?
I was actually shocked, Sam, a little bit, to
Yeah.
be totally frank.
That's something akin, giving Larry the gold Logie is something akin to making Leyland the car of the year. Do you remember when Leyland brought out a car back in the...
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, not one of them ran properly. In fact, they made it car of the year, and then I don't think they made it car of the year, but they may as well have. But good on Larry. That's not his fault. He's nominated, and he won it. So, and he said...
Is he pretty small, Sam? Is he a pretty small bloke, Sam, Larry?
Well, he was.
Do you meet him?
On the television. I've only got a small television here, Doug, and he looked pretty small on the television, but... I don't know how big he is at all. Did you see him standing next to anyone?
Yeah, I did. He just stood next to Sonia Kruger and.
Did he stand next? Did he stand next to the boy who swallows? What was his name?
Felix.
Felix.
Felix Cameron, his name was.
Now, Sue's got a little bit of information on what Felix swallows. Not Felix swallows. Boy, what is it, Sue?
Boy Swallows.
Boy Swallows. Yeah.
I didn't know it was done in Australia. So it's a young boy growing up in the suburbs of 1980s in Brisbane faces harsh realities of life and the looming dangers that threaten his family. But Simon Baker, I love Simon Baker. He was in it, so it was starring him as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Simon Baker got booked the other day, Sam, and so I think he got booked for over the limit of alcohol, I think.
Did he?
Allegedly, yeah, allegedly.
No, what do you mean he got booked? Where? Just...
Well, he was pulled over and he refused it, and the breathalyzer, I think. I read that the other day.
He refused it?
I think that's correct, and that's, of course, allegedly, Sam.
No, that wouldn't be allegedly. If he was pulled over and he refused it, that's a fact.
Well, if you murder people these days, it's allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
And you get out on bail when you're a 16-year-old. It's a joke.
No, just
he did get charged with drink driving 5 days ago.
Oh,
6 days ago, yeah.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Just on that, Doug, I see on the news today a bloke, an African American, a black man called Eric Andre. He was lumbered at the airport. He was randomly taken out of a lineup, and the sniffer dogs sniffed him. And he's now whinging that this is a racially profiled, and that he'll never come to Melbourne again. And he said he'd like to have a police escort if ever he came to Melbourne again, because this was absolutely dangerous. That he was. Can I just tell Eric, if he's listening, if he gets hold of this? I came back from Brisbane a week ago, and I was pulled out of a lineup. I was the woman who pulled me out, a very nice woman, not knocking the woman who pulled me out with the uniform and the gun on the side of a hip and everything else. She said, "You have been randomised, sir." I said, "I've been what?" She said, randomised. And I said, what is that? She said, we randomly take people out of a lineup as you're coming through into the airport, and we check you for drugs and explosives and bloody any contraband. And she went right through my luggage. I have no problem doing it. I might see if Eric's available, and if he could get an armed escort to have him come through the customs or the entry lounge at the airport, I might see if I can get an offsider to help me get through. I get pulled up every time, almost every time I come through the airport. I get pulled over for a random check. Now, it might
might know you, Sam. Would they know you, Sam?
Of course it is, Doug. Of course it is. Now, I'm not complaining, Doug, because I've got nothing to hide. But it just takes 7 or 8 minutes out of your... not that 7 or 8 minutes is up, but when you've been waiting in a line for an hour and a half to get in, the extra 7 minutes can just tip you over the edge. So I don't know what Eric Andre's on about, but if he likes to get hold of me, I'll tell you I was randomised, and I didn't have the dogs sniff me agates or go up the back of me aort, but I had... she waved a wand over every part of my body and checked to see if I was... So I digress, Doug. I digress, and the police. This is the other thing. The airport officialdom who run the scanning said that there wasn't an Australian. Wasn't an Australian dog that sniffed him. It wasn't Australian. What is that? What are you random?
What's that mean? What's that mean?
They said it wasn't an Australian security dog that sniffed him. I said, well, what sort of fucking dog would be at the airport sniffing people? What, people who've just carried a dog through as a comfort animal, and it's
from
just...
Italy.
Hey, yeah, I mean, like...
From Italy or from multiple... Where is it from?
Yeah. So I don't know what that meant, that it wasn't an Australian security dog. It was some other dog. Anyhow, so Eric, please lighten up, old son. I'm as we have different skin colours, and I got randomised. So stop whinging about it, mate. He said, all the other airports in Australia were fine, but Melbourne wasn't, and it was dangerous to come through there. And he went the old racist line. The race, whenever you got something, let's just go the racist tag, and that should get everyone up and about. So I did digress.
I did read that. Yes, I read that. Yep.
Did you finish with the Logies? What did you?
Well, I did. I finished with the Logies. Sam, I made a lot of wannabes. You know, it's like after the tenders and lack talent. Is that a fair call? I mean, Graham Kennedy and Bert, you'd never like to be late. They'd be spinning in their grave watching some of these, people being nominated for certain awards. I mean, fair income. Anyway, the talent's gone backwards, hasn't it? And the Footy show, Sam, last night, did you touch on that?
No, I said...
Did you watch it? You watched it?
No, I didn't watch it, Doug, because I can't get it up here.
Oh.
I think we're aligned to TCN in fucking Mackay or somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if it was on. It might have been on at midnight or something, but I didn't. I wasn't. No. So how did that go?
You featured.
What?
You featured very heavily in it.
Well, we all would have featured heavily in it, Doug. You would have featured.
Yeah, no. I got a very good run.
Yes, you got a very compatible
in the
run.
4 years. The 4 years that I was a part of the juggernaut, Sam, which it was. And it showed the beginning with Eddie, obviously.
Yep.
Telling how it all began and how Ian Johnson, the late Ian Johnson, who was the CEO, wasn't he?
He was.
Sam,
He was the titular head down here.
He chased you. He wanted you. He said to Eddie, because Eddie was at Channel 10, and he said Eddie signed some deal, Sam, with Ian Johnson on the back of a...
Yeah, on the back of a coaster. He's told me that, Eddie. I don't know if he's still got it, but he said he had kept that. I don't know if he still has it. I would hope he would still have it. And so it showed him at the start, did it? And then... and
then he wanted you, Sam, but he said, I want Sam Newman. Because you were doing some stuff anyway. I got a feeling, Sam, you may have even been doing the Sunday Footy show at that stage.
Yes.
The late Maxie Walker and EJ, the great EJ, and
that's right.
Mel Brown and young Dermot and Simon Madden.
Yeah,
I reckon Simon O'Donnell was in that too, Sam? Was he Simon O'Donnell, the cricketer? Was he in that?
He was. In fact, I think Simon, myself, and maybe Dermot were the first. The three of us did a three-hander even before that, or maybe I can't remember, Doug. So
anyway, that was 94, Sam. 94 was the first show.
So did anyone watch it?
It showed you and mate. It rated 38.
What?
It rated 38.
When yesterday?
It's rated its
tits.
Breast off. Yeah, tits.
Its breasts off. It rated its breasts off. Doug, if you're going to use that hackneyed line, if you're going to use, if you're going to use that euphemism for something, just say the word. It rated its tits off.
Rated its titties off.
Titties.
Off,
you can't bring yourself to say the word tits.
All right, tits.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So anyway, Sam, it was a very well put together show.
So did you said some people watched it? Did you say
stack of people, Sam? And they were watching The Voice, and they switched across from The Voice, which was on Channel 7.
Is it? Yep.
And then the footy show started at 8:40. And then it just skyrocketed.
So did they say? Oh no, that was just a one-off thing. They're not going to put excerpts on every now and again.
One more show, Sam. They're doing one more show.
Oh, are they?
One more highlights package. The thing that it figured with you, Sam, was the haircut from Jason Dunstall, which you didn't look very happy.
No.
And the cream cake, which you actually slammed.
Yes, into David Schwartz.
You didn't put it into his face. You actually slammed it into his face. And he took umbrage. To it. And,
no, he did. But David's been a little naughty, and he's a very good man, and I like him. And he said he would like to have been told I was going to do that. He was.
You told him.
Of course I did.
You said you set it up.
I said I would never do. I said I'm telling you, I'd never do that to an invited guest unless. I just wouldn't do that. That is really is demoralising someone. If taking the piss out of them. If they don't know, I told him I was going to push a pie into his face. I did tell him that, and I didn't tell him I did slap it in hard, and I'm very delighted. I'm very delighted at the reaction he had. I'm very delighted. I have no problem with that, but he's a bit mischievous. I think it went so far. It went on and on and on, and then they said I was a disgrace, and he should have belted me. And he said he would have in other days gone by. Good luck to that. So I didn't mind any of that, but they went so far with it, and everyone went so far through it. I think he felt a little embarrassed that he'd say, I actually knew that there was something going on. He did say there was something going on, I think, at the time, but I don't know if he. Anyhow, so it was good. So
when he pushed you, Sam, you hit the deck pretty hard.
Beautiful.
Was that set up? Did you hit the deck hard, didn't you?
Oh, mate, I was pretty sharp. I was pretty fit in those days. I did a barrel roll, and I knew that the side panel was made out of styrene with all the stuff on it, and I hit that bang hard, and I did it beautifully. Anyhow, it was good.
And then he said he got a couple of letters with bullets in it to blow you up.
To slow me up?
Bullets there. Yeah, he said there was a couple of envelopes arrived at his house with bullets in it, and
sure the bullets weren't for him.
They might have been chocolate bullets, Sam. I'm not sure, but anyway.
Were the bullets?
But overall, that was on TV last night. That was on TV. Yeah.
On TV.
He got it in the mail. He got it in the mail He got it in the mail. The ox. He got it in the mail. Did you know that?
What's that, Doug?
Did you know he got a couple of bullets, Sam? It was mailed to him. But it's on TV. You can check look at the show
what?
Last night.
Well, how can I look at it? I would have looked at it last night if I could have looked at it, Doug.
You'll end up seeing it anyway somehow. You'll see it some way.
And I get back to Melbourne in November. That'll be good. I'll just go through it. We'll bring it up again.
No, you're not here for the finals?
Well, I'm actually here for the week of the finals because I've got because you keep coming on this show. You make me fairly popular grand final week, and I've got a couple of gigs out of you coming on the show. You know, us having a banter between you and I. Yeah.
I've got a couple too.
Yeah, good. So that's my point of saying this. So, Doug, we'll get on to the finals, but I just wanted to say to you, so you lost money on Sonia Kruger, and you watched the footy show, and so now I did see this because I've seen the clips on the news. All hell has broken loose apparently because a Port Adelaide player called Dan Houston. Tell me if I get any of these names wrong.
No,
right.
Go on, mate. I'll help you.
He ran into Isaac Rankin. Did he?
Rankin, yep. Yeah, Rankin, yeah.
And he got 5 weeks, and they've screamed bloody murder because was Rankin going for a mark and the bloke just poleaxed him, or was it split second stuff? What happened?
It was split second, Sam, and let me put it this way. If Lou Richards was calling the game, he would say, fair bump, play on.
Yep.
He would say, fair bump, play on. He never hit his head. He hit his head on the ground.
Yep.
It was a perfect shirt front. And remember, Sam, a few months ago, I said that if I was a coach, I would say no tackling and no bumping.
Yep.
This Houston, by the way, is a very, very good player. And they're going to play finals without a bloke who comes off half back, very, very good kick. And and you know what they're doing, Sam? The AFL is absolutely ripping the fabric, which is what we grew up with, and will try to protect yourself at all times. And if a bloke was set up and ready to be skittled, well, you skittled him. And it's 5 weeks. He got 5 weeks.
Yep, no, it's extraordinary, Doug. The game has been taken out of the general public and ex-players' hands, and is now being run by a squad of people who are just more interested in the social aspects of what we do as opposed to the contact sport of what it is. I just give you a classic example. If you want to see big, strong men with no spite, no intention to hurt people necessarily, but if they do on the run-through, that's okay. Have a watch at an NRL game every now and again, and you'll see a good, honest, physical clash. And if they do anything untoward, they get lumbered. But shirt fronting someone, there used to be a rule that if the ball was in so many metres, you were allowed to run through someone.
It was in his hands, Sam. It was in his hands. It was in Rankin's hands.
Anyhow, we keep saying there's a duty, and then someone said, "Oh, this was a bump from a bygone era." I don't know who said that. I heard someone saying it, a bump from a bygone era, whatever that means.
It might have been. I hope it wasn't Lee Matthews, was it? No.
I don't think Lee Matthews would weigh into something like that, Doug. He cut his teeth on stuff like that.
A few over,
and did he ever? So
Sam, on the back of that, Sam, did you know that the Port Adelaide mascot whose nickname's Thunder?
Who nickname what?
His nickname is Thunder. The Port Adelaide
Thunder?
mascot.
As in lightning and thunder?
Yeah, Thunder. Yep. Thunda.
Did you say H?
TH.
You said H, did you? Yeah, TH.
Yes,
yeah, TH.
UNDA, Thunder. Yeah. Sam, he got punched in the nose before the game.
By who?
You're going to love this. This is in the paper today. This is in the paper. He got punched in the nose. He got punched in the face where he required a nosebleed. He got a nosebleed. He was taken by staff from the Oval to be treated, and he returned, and he was also clear, you'll love this, of any potential concussion.
Who punched him?
Some Adelaide kid, only a little runt, a little minor. He's punched Thunder in the nose, and he had to go away from the ground. And he come back and got a concussion test.
Oh, it's brilliant! Please. No.
Our game is rooted, Sam. Seriously.
Did they lumber the kid who punched him?
Yeah, he got 6 weeks, and
he got 6 weeks. The kid who punched him.
Yeah,
Jesus, that'd be a bonus not having to go and watch him for 6 weeks.
He got 6 weeks.
Holy shit!
Can you believe that, Sam? The mascot got cleared of concussion. That is just staggering. That's staggering.
That is extraordinary. Now, I've got two quick things to ask you.
Right. Sam. I've got to do a shout out if I can.
Come on.
Work here. Can I do that now? Can I?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, Sam, you know when you ever say things and you don't know you say it, and then after you hear it again, you go, "Shit, did I say that?"
I beg pardon, Doug?
You ever say things and you look back over the what you were talking about and you think, shit, did I actually say that?
Yes. Yep.
So what I'm trying to say here, remember last couple of weeks ago, we were talking about Paddy the Peggy here.
Paddy the
Peggy who does the cleaning here at my job here, the Hansett Yankett job, which is run by Brian McAdam and Adam Harding. They run the site manager and project manager.
You were speaking to me about this, were you?
Yes.
Right.
Yes, I was.
Go on.
You know.
Yep.
Anyway, Paddy, I said, Peggy's always a bit older, right? And I said he looked like he's about 70. He's only in his 40s, so I want to apologise.
He looks like 70 and he's in his 40s.
So he doesn't.
What's he been doing?
He doesn't look like he's in his 70s, Sam. I talk him bullshit. I made that up. And his dad, Peter McMahon, who loves you, Sam, and loves listening to You Can't Be Serious, he wanted me to do an apology, and I've done it.
You said tongue-in-cheek that he looked a bit older than he was, and you just went to the extreme. And Paddy, Paddy took offence, did he?
Paddy was okay, but Peter, his dad, I think was a little bit upset with it. But he's a lovely man, Peter. Sam.
What's his name, Peter?
McMahon. He loves you.
Right.
He loves
we love Peter McMahon and Peter. If you don't know Doug, you probably do know Doug. But this is called Doug. This is called hyperbole, which means exaggeration, and we often exaggerate. See, I say that I say that sometimes you say things that. What am I trying to say here, Doug? Sam,
just very quickly to Brian, Adam, and Tim from Hansett Yankett. I just want to say thank you guys very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thanking them for what?
Let me do this podcast because I'm still supposed to be working.
Oh yeah. Oh, I see. Well, anyhow, good on you.
I'm out in the car park. Go on.
Well, no, we're sending a cheerio to both of them, and I know I want to send not a cheerio, but have you ever heard of a bloke? Remember Damien Burke?
Yeah, I do. Big red-headed ruckman.
A great exponent of the art of ruckwork. Well, he asked me, and I'm happy to do this because his brother. Let me just see if I can stuff this up for you. His brother is. Of course, I'll find his brother's name. Wait till I just stuff this up, Doug. His brother is called Paul. And he is on a motorcycle, on an Indian motorcycle, and he is travelling around Australia raising funds, particularly up in the Northern Territory, for fellow Australians. We're all Australians, no matter what colour we are. So he's raising funds to give hope and goods in kind, raise football boots for the people up in the Northern Territory, and he's going around Australia doing it. And Damien said, could we give his brother Paul a shout out? I hope I haven't stuffed this up. And he is called this is what he's called. He's called the Indian Crusader. The Indian, I think, is the name of the motorbike, an Indian motorbike. If you wanted to help him out and donate some funds to the Indian Crusader to put football boots primarily on the feet of disadvantaged Aussie kids, no matter who or where they are or what colour they are, he is going around Australia doing that. So I said I'd give him a shout out. And Damien, if you're listening to this and I've stuffed that up, mate, give us another call and I'll have another crack at it next week. But that's what he's doing.
Sam, can we do a condolence here, Sam? You may not have heard what happened here in Melbourne yesterday.
I did not.
So you may not have heard. No.
Well, unless you tell us what it is, I can't tell you.
Jake Landsberger, our club doctor at the Bulldogs, Footscray Western Bulldogs for 30 years, his young boy Sam, who writes for the Herald Sun, Sam, and
yep.
and he was part of the Fox Footy team, and that was tragically hit by hit by a truck yesterday in Richmond.
Really?
And was killed, Sam. Yeah.
My word!
Corner of Bridge and Church Street at 10:20 yesterday morning. He was going to have coffee with a few of his mates, colleagues from the Herald Sun, and
man.
So Sam Landsberger.
Who hit him, or what did he hit?
A truck hit him, Sam. A truck. The truck stopped. Truck stopped to try and help young Sam. He was rushed to hospital. He had a 3-hour operation to try and save his life, but tragically, Sam Landsberger passed away, Sam. So to the Landsberger family, our condolence and our love and thoughts at this tragic
Absolutely.
Time,
that is, I didn't know that, Doug. Well, well done for bringing that up. Now, I just want to quickly mention too, this is not what I want to mention, but I'm mentioning now that we've got onto shout-outs. MichaelChristianMenswear.com have got the Doug Hawkins and Sam Newman signed You Cannot Be Serious caps. And if you wanted to grab some for Father's Day, I don't know if he'll be able to get them all out. He's inundated with orders. But if you wanted to rush in and get onto the website, he can get them out to you. I've seen several people up here at Airlie Beach wearing the You Cannot Be Serious hats. Actually, 2 or 3 women I didn't run into. I saw from afar had the caps on.
Who makes them, Sam? Who makes them?
Underprivileged people who have just been thrown out of home and are living on the street over in Vietnam or China or somewhere, and they're
Cambodia.
Cambodia. They're I think they pay them, the manufacturing company that orders them, along with the Nike and the Adidas gear. They on tremendous salaries over there. I think they get $2 Australian a month. Oh, American. It's $2 American a month, which is
Sue just helped you. Then you got
$3 Australian, and that sustains them for a month. And they live in cardboard boxes. And but they're producing these caps, which MichaelChristianMenswear.com is letting go for $69.90 or something. So that's for fathers. Now I want to ask you these quick things, Doug. Quick things.
Before we go, God.
Well, we could ask about who you thought the final makeup of the finals. Right. It looks like, doesn't there's going to be 4 interstate sides and 4 Victorian sides in the finals, doesn't it?
It does. Sydney, Port Adelaide, Sam, GWS, Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, there's 4.
They can't go out. Therefore, they're in.
And then the other 4 are going to be made up from Victorian sides.
Geelong, Western Bulldogs, Hawthorn, Carlton. Collingwood can't make it. Essendon can't make it. Fremantle are on 50. Carlton on 52. Hawthorn on 52. And the Bulldogs on 52. So Fremantle can make it if the Bulldogs lose. If the Bulldogs lose...
Who are they playing?
Fremantle are playing...
Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide, thank you, Sue. Port Adelaide.
Who are the Bulldogs playing?
GWS in Ballarat.
In Ballarat? Holy shit, Doug. What?
There'll be a lock-in 12,000 go to that, but anyway.
Well, I reckon you'll have half a Footscray drive up there, just up the Western Highway, just to see if their side can...
and Geelong play West Coast, Sam. Geelong play West Coast at Geelong.
Can they go out?
No, they can't. You're on 56. But you'll finish in the top 4 if you win.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good.
You finish top 4, and they give you a double chance then. So
now, I know. I signalled this last week to you, Doug, the last time we spoke, and I didn't go on with it. I want to ask you this. 3 things. You remember Richmond under Dean Bailey were accused by the AFL of tanking because they didn't play any of when they couldn't get in, when they tried to finish last, I think, so they get some priority draft picks. Yep, what is the difference between, and this is not a reflection on Dustin, what is the difference between Dustin Martin not playing the last 3 games because Richmond couldn't make the finals What is the difference between why, if Dustin Martin is the best player at Richmond, why wouldn't he be selected to see if they could win the remaining games?
Well, Sam, me and you, if we're retired and we'll never play ever again at the Richmond Footy Club, I would want to play those 3 games. I would want to play those 3 games, unless his body's absolutely knackered. But
well, did they say retired because of injury? Did they?
Well, no, they didn't, Sam. No.
Well,
they haven't.
So if
I would play, you would play, and I would play.
But if you've got a contract to play for Richmond, you play when you're selected. Right. Why wouldn't they select him? Yeah. Or they're just not trying to win, obviously.
But that as well. I mean, Sam, I think you'll bob up at the Suns with Hardwick.
Well, then that would be. This is not speaking about Dustin. He's a fat. I know Dustin not very well, but I know him pretty well. He's a lovely bloke. A lovely bloke. Yeah. But how could Richmond not have him play to see if they could win some remaining games and then him bob up somewhere else? But he mightn't do that. But he might. And I see just this another thing. God, it's amazing. So his dad has been trying to be deported over to New Zealand, I think.
Oh, his dad's passed away.
His uncle. Yeah,
his uncle.
Oh, I'm sorry about. I beg your pardon. I misspoke there. I misspoke. Dean. Right. I think his name's Dean Martin. Martin. How'd you have a handle called Dean Martin? Everybody loves somebody's sunrise. So Dean they're trying to deport Dean. And then Lydia Thorpe, I think, who went out with him, said, oh, well, he's an Aboriginal. He claimed to be an Aboriginal. My point is, if you could possibly find out where Dean was born and is he a naturalised Australian, whether he's Aboriginal or not, or claim, if you're a naturalised Australian, I think it's pretty hard to be deported because you're considered an Australian. And if you're born in New Zealand, you're not naturalised, they have every right to deport him. How hard would it be to make that decision? Anyhow, rather than the bogus claim of being an Aboriginal, I mean, seriously. Doug, finally, Doug.
Yes.
Finally. Tom Hawkins. They don't think he's going to play again. But they said in the final game, which is next week, the final game of the home and away, they might put him on the bench just as a farewell game. Did you hear that?
Well, this is their last game, Sam. This is their last game.
This is my point.
Not Friday night, Saturday night.
This is my point. Tom Hawkins, to give Tom Hawkins a farewell game when your side, if you can't get a game on your merits because of injury, to give him a farewell game just when your season was on the line, whether you get to stay in the bottom 8 or get into the top 4, why would you give Tom Hawkins a farewell game when the game mattered?
Exactly right.
Because he's not getting a game, not just because he's injured.
On his terms. No, that's right. No.
He owes Geelong nothing. They owe him nothing. He's had a stellar career. He's been a star. And he's... what do you need to say goodbye to Tom Hawkins for? Because have that override in priority, putting 20 fit people on the ground, or however many play these days, 20 fit people on the ground, if it is crucial that you win the game.
I agree.
And that sounds like it's a slight against Tom. It's a backhanded compliment to him. He's been fantastic. But I don't think Tom needs to have a farewell game for everyone to shout and cheer at him. Christ, he's more mature than that, surely. Well, he is.
Exactly, Sam. Who's just pipping the horn out here?
All right. Well, it means probably that we've had enough of this, Doug. It probably means that your time is up.
Doug? I've got to go. What are you looking at? Mate? Sorry, Sam. Are we on air still?
No, we're off now. You go.
Love you, mate. Hey, love you, Sue. Love you, Sam.
Fantastic to speak to you, Doug.
Love you.
See you.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Righto. Now, we'll just get him off. If we can. Yeah, he's gone, isn't he? Righto. So we're going to close this down. Then I'm going to have a two-way chat to Ivan and Dick. and we'll be back. So that's the inimitable, I think is the word, the incorrigible Doug Hawkins. See, I could mention those two words to him and he'd have no idea what they meant.
He'd just laugh.
He would. No, he's a star, Doug, and I hope he featured on the Footy show last night in reasonably often, because he was a fantastic boy at the time and never took himself seriously, which was what we all tried to do. Well, I did anyhow. So that's it. So enough bullshit. So here we go. Which one do I press? That one.